Hey everybody, and welcome back to Lindsay's Little Library. So it's the beginning of the year and I have this bug lately to just clean up my house. I don't know, it's from my binge watch of Tidying Up on Netflix. It's the Marie Kondo kind of method of cleaning, of tidying up. She wrote the book, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. So I've got a little bit of a bug from that, and Sarah from Sarah's Nightstand recommended I watch it, and she's been kind of in the same little kick with me lately. So I thought I'd take a good look at my bookshelves and really honestly look at every single book and touch every single book and figure out, is this something that A, sparks joy, if you know anything about the book or the Netflix special, or am I truly going to read this book? So there's a few of them that I have gotten rid of because I'm not interested anymore. And then I have this kind of stack of 5 that I've come across that I don't know. I'm intrigued by them, but I could also let them go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the first chapter of every one of these and vlog about it and kind of make my decision from there whether or not I'm going to keep these books. So here we go. The 5 that I have. First one I have is After the Monsoon by Robert Cargill. It says this I got, I think I got this from the library when I completed like my summer bingo card or whatever like that. So it kind of was like, it was the best out of all of them that I picked up, but I definitely wasn't super excited about it. But when I read the back, it talks about Ernest Grip. I believe this is part of a series, but I don't think you have to read them in order. He is sent to Africa to investigate the death of a Swedish army lieutenant who was shot on a shooting range. While he's there, he discovers some other secrets that are happening. So for example, people really don't want him there. They don't want him asking questions or snooping around. The U.S. Embassy's CIA station especially doesn't want him there because their military transport planes are leaving from the base carrying untraceable pallets loaded with cash, so that's interesting. Also, the Somali pirates kidnap a wealthy Swedish family while he's there, and no one from back home is really caring that this family is gone or willing to pay the ransom, so he's kind of curious as to what's going on with that. It says this book makes you kind of answer the question, how do you know which is the lesser of two evils? How do you justify pursuing the greater good? Kind of things like, I feel like there's some moral dilemmas he's faced with in this book. So I'm intrigued by it. So I'm going to give it a whirl. I don't know. We'll see. The next one on my shelf has been there for a very long time. Like probably 20 years this has been on my shelf. The Owl and Moon Cafe by Joanne Mapson. Maybe I shouldn't say 20 years. Maybe I should see what the publication date is. Not that I don't think I bought it brand new. So 2006, so it couldn't have been 20 years, but it feels like 20 years. It's been on there for a while. This feels like a family drama. So you have, I believe, 4 generations that own / work in the Owl and Moon Cafe in California. It sounds like they are 4 females who are very vastly different from each other, and one of them falls ill with leukemia, so you kind of go through, how does this family make it through this? So it sounds good. I just don't know, so we're gonna give that a try. Next one I've been toying with because I would say this is kind of a little chick litty, and I'm not as into those as much as I used to be. In fact, I have a little stack that I'm just permanently getting rid of because it's just not my jam anymore. But I'm still kind of intrigued by this. It's One Day by David Nichols. And I don't know if it's because it was made into a movie, making me think it might be better than I think. We'll see. But this starts in the late 80s between Dexter and Emma, and they meet, and after one day, they know that there's a connection there. And they just can't stop thinking about each other, and it spans 20 years of them coming back and meeting on the exact same day every year, so July 15th. And I believe it only shows you July 15th of every year. I'm not sure. Let's see. Yep, July 15th, 1990 was the next chapter. July 15th, 91. So you go through the 20 years only on that date and you kind of see how they come together. So we're going to give that a whirl. Next one, again, I'm just not sure. And I feel like I'm kind of just getting into this genre and I'm a little nervous about this one. So this is called Spelled by Betsy Scow. This one is a Dorothy from Wizard of Oz type of fairy tale retelling, but I believe there's other fairy tale characters that show up in this book. And I feel like Dorothea is the character's name, she's trying to kind of get out of the norm of fairy tale life. So, sounds interesting. I don't know. We're going to see what happens. And the last one is something, again, I've had for quite a bit, but I've just never really found an interest in picking it up, and I don't know why. But it's The Stranger in the Woods, The Extraordinary Story of the Last True Hermit by Michael Finkel. It is super short. It is a book of the month club, and those are kind of the reasons why I'm hanging on to it. The subject itself, maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But we'll see what happens. Book of the month usually doesn't disappoint me, which is why I'm going to do the try chapter with this one. And it's pretty short, so who knows? I may just finish it off in one sitting. We'll see what happens. So those are the 5 books. I'm going to bring you with me and let you know what I think of them as I go. I'm not sure where I'm going to start. We'll see. But, I don't know. Part of me is like, I'm hoping I get rid of all of them just because I'm in this mood to just purge lately. Is anyone else in that mood? Is it just the new year? I don't know what it is. Is it the show that's got me wanting to do it? But then part of me is like, I don't want to get rid of a good book that has potential. So I think the trying a chapter is going to really work. But next time you see me, I'll have at least one of them done. So I'll see you in a bit. Okay, friends, so we have started. I picked 2 books today to read. I did on my lunch break today. I read the first chapter of both of them. So I picked, okay, so before this I should probably explain. In my mind with these 5 books, I have what I think I'm going to still keep around and what I'm pretty positive I'm going to want to get rid of. Granted, all of them are kind of like on the fence to begin with, but if I had to, pick a few that I think are going to stick around, I have those kind of in my head. So the 2 that I picked today, one of them I'm like, for sure, I'm going to end up getting rid of this one. And the other one, I'm like, I can totally see myself keeping this one. And I was so wrong. I was so wrong, which I'm very surprised by. So the first one I picked up was Spelled by Betsy Scow. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. So this is like a fairy tale retelling featuring Dorothy from the Wizard of Oz. I'm like, I don't know. I'm so in love with The Court of Thorns and Roses. Can there really be another series that's gonna kind of grab my attention like that one did? I'm just not sure. It's YA. I don't know. I was pretty positive I was going to get rid of this one by the end of the day, and I'm totally wrong. It was really cute, and I love Dorothea. I love how sassy she is. She's on this quest to basically break free of, she's kind of stuck in the castles, basically what's happening. And this girl is flippin' determined, and she is strong, and I'm really intrigued. Like, I want to keep going. Never in a million years thought that this one would be one that I kept, but I'm keeping it. Definitely. The other one I picked up is One Day by David Nichols. I found myself kind of getting bored. I did. The first chapter was fairly long. You don't know a whole lot, so I may try to give it another chapter because I still haven't really come to the premise of they get back together over 20 years. They get back together on the same day. I haven't quite gotten to there. It's basically very early on in their relationship, if you even call it that. I'm not sure. It's too... I have a feeling it might be a little too predictable. I'm not loving it. Right now, if I had to pick, I'd be getting rid of this one. So we're going to see if there's a little bit of time. Maybe I'll give her another chapter, but I'm also okay with just letting it go. So unless one of you guys is like, Lindsay, you've got it totally wrong, don't get rid of that book. I mean, I trust you, but it just wasn't grabbing my attention right away. And I really don't like books with the movie covers on it, so the movie had Anne Hathaway and Jim Sturgis in it. I don't remember it though, so I wonder how old it is. Does it say on the back? It does not. Cover art 2011, so I mean it's older. But anyway, so far so good. I love like the feel of this book too. It's got like some good weight to it, if you know what I mean. But we're gonna keep going. I've got the 3 left to go through. I don't know what I'll pick up next. We'll see what kind of sparks my interest tomorrow, and I'll let you know. So see you in a bit. Boy, was I wrong. So wrong. So I picked this up, and again, thinking I'm not gonna like this really at all. So far, and I've only read 3, this is my favorite. Like, to the point where I couldn't stop. I'm already halfway through this book. Way more interesting than I thought it would be. So this follows Christopher Knight, who in 1986 left his house and was not seen for like 27 years. So he went and camped out basically in the woods in Maine, and he did steal food and steal supplies to kind of keep himself alive, but he was basically a hermit. He lived off the land completely by himself for 27 years. Wow, until he was caught, which took a lot of effort, like years and years of effort to even catch him, because he was so stealth-like about everything, and people, I mean, he was like a legend in this area in Maine. So yeah, 1986, and then they found him in what? 2013, I believe. But wow. Did not expect that. So this, I'm pretty sure this is gonna get finished before I'm even done doing the other books, because I'm so into it. I should have never doubted it's a book of the month club. They tend to hit it out of the park for me, so I will take it. But I've got 2 books left. I'm gonna keep you in the loop as I finish them. We'll see what happens, but so far I'm keeping 2, getting rid of 1. It's not too bad. Okay, so I have read the first chapter in The Owl and Moon Cafe by Joanne Mapson. I didn't know what to think because I was enjoying it. So this is about 4 generations of women. They're the Moon girls. So we've got Grandma, who's very traditional. She's the one that owns the cafe, but very traditional thoughts and very traditional life. Then we have her daughter, what's her name? Allegra, who's like total hippie, right? And then we have Allegra's daughter, I'm gonna get names confused here, Mariah, who was working at a college. I don't know if she's a professor or something, a professor potentially, but she gets fired, and she has her daughter Lindsey, who sounds like she's a child genius. So that alone intrigues me because they're so different. You get a sense from Mariah's standpoint. That's the first chapter. So it looks like you toggle between the women. I do know Allegra finds out she has leukemia, so when Mariah comes home, she does realize that her mom is sick, but her mom kind of blows her off, but it does say in the synopsis that she has leukemia. I don't know. I didn't know because I was enjoying the first chapter, but I could be that I enjoyed Mariah's perspective. So I looked up in Goodreads, and it has a 3.6 something rating, which is okay, but when I was reading the kind of reasons why people didn't like it, they said it was really predictable, that the differences between the characters is almost too much and too unbelievable, which I kind of picked up right away. So I'm not sure. I'm kind of on the fence about this one. I don't know. I may put it in my pile to donate to like my little libraries and see what happens. If I keep thinking about it, maybe I'll read another chapter, but I'm kind of leaning towards getting rid of this one, unless you guys tell me that I shouldn't. But I don't know. I just don't know. So I have one more book to try the chapter of. This is After the Monsoon, so we're going to give that a whirl, and I'll let you know what I think, and then we're almost done. Okay, so I finished the first chapter of After the Monsoon by Robert Cargill. I have a visitor with me who's, I don't know, seeking attention or something. so I don't know, I don't want to hit her with it, but After the Monsoon. So this follows a Swedish army lieutenant, this follows Ernest Grip. I believe it's a series that he writes, but it sounds like I can read it by itself. He's investigating a Swedish army lieutenant who drops dead at a shooting range in the Horn of Africa, and a number of other things happen while he's doing this investigation, including a Swedish family who gets abducted by pirates. And that's what the first chapter is that family who is kind of sailing around the world gets abducted by pirates. And so very action-packed, I guess I could say. Are you leaving now? I think she's camera shy. Very action-packed, but I kind of want to see how this is all connected, because it sounds like Ernest figures out that there's connections between the army lieutenant who dies, this family, and as well as some cover-up going on within the U.S. Embassy. There's some money being laundered, so I don't know. I might try another chapter with this one as well, because it definitely kept my interest. I should do some research in Goodreads, but it's keeping my interest more than even just, do I care what they say? Not really. So I think it comes down to, let me get my other books. Okay, so of the 5 books that I picked for this little read-along, The Stranger in the Woods, I'm for sure keeping. Like, I'm more than halfway through on this book. This is fabulous. Total surprise. Spelled, I'm gonna keep. I'm even still thinking about this book and wondering what happens. So that one we're gonna keep for sure. One Day, I'm getting rid of. It's going. I don't care. I don't care about it. Ellen Moon Cafe. Pretty sure this is gonna go unless you tell me not to. That's the only thing that's gonna keep it, but this is gonna go in the donate pile. And then After the Monsoon, which is a shocker as well, because this is just I needed to pick something up type of thing. I'm gonna do a little research and maybe read the next chapter and see where it goes, but most likely I'm gonna keep this one. So that's not too bad. I guess I was kind of hoping to get rid of more than just 2. But it's better than nothing. Plus, I'll finish this up and then most likely pass this along as well, because I don't think I'd ever read it again, but I'm definitely enjoying this one. It's a very quick read and it's really quite interesting. I'm kind of surprised about that. So I'm going to leave links to Sarah's channel below, because she's going through a whole huge book purge right now. So there's definitely multiple videos to check out, but let's take a look and see, or make sure you go over there and take a look and see what books she picked for her try a chapter tag and kind of how she does with it. So links below for that. Let me know if I need to keep this one in the comments below. Or if I should change my name, or if I should change my idea on any of the other ones, but I'm pretty set on them. Do you do this? Do you go through your kind of TBR shelf at all and kind of purge as you go along and see what you can get rid of? I know when I first kind of started collecting books, the first time I did this, I really felt very guilty for getting rid of books that I didn't read, because I'm like, well, I bought that and I paid for it and I had intentions, but you know, life changes and life happens, so it's not a big deal. So yeah, comment below, talk to me about that. Otherwise, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.